Carol. And I just, without much ado here, I'm going to ask the governor to come up and just say a few words, and we'll have him introduce his good friend Ken. And thanks, Governor. Appreciate you being here.
Here, so my voice is louder, but hope I will carry. Let me first of all thank you all for being here and having such a great turnout. All right, for Ken McKay. Secondly, I want to acknowledge my companion, my better half, has been with me from the beginning through all of this, and that's the First Lady, Sue. By the way, you heard me say, if you think I'm political, I'm mild compared to her. She follows everything nationally, everything local, and I have really relied on her in terms of a lot of good common sense judgments. And those of you who know her know what I mean. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about. This is about Ken, and I'm really thrilled that he's here. And by the way, his parents were Ken Sr. and Geraldine. They're here too. You can always tell the McKays, all right? They need to, and Carrie, his cousin is back there. McKay's Furniture, all right? This is the crowd that started it. I didn't start it, actually, I've continued it. Where's Mary, too? Is Mary back there with Mary left with the boys. Yeah. But 30 seconds, because Sue said to me, don't give a long speech, Doc. She knows me too well. I know I'm passionate about what it is we're trying to do. It irritates the you-know-what out of me when I continue to see these articles written about Rhode Island, because I think, I'm here, we're here, we've done this to fight for the state. I think it's worth fighting for all the reasons Carol said. This is a great state with a lot of potential. By the way, we've made enormous progress, because a lot of it you don't see, and a lot of it that you're going to talk about. All right, but we are making huge progress on a lot of different fronts that I'm not going to bore you with really right now. But we, look at Massachusetts. To get through this, they raised their sales tax 25%. We got some people from Massachusetts here, visitors here, that are running for Congress, running for Massachusetts. I talked to Governor Jody Rell, a few weeks ago. Connecticut still doesn't have a budget. They still do not have a budget. Their projection in Connecticut, they do a 2-year budget, is for an $8.5 billion deficit in Connecticut over the next 2 years. Their legislature is talking about raising the income tax, a surcharge on the corporate income tax, a surcharge on the estate tax. We came through this budget with no change in the broad-based taxes. In fact, the flat tax option on the income tax is coming down. It's coming down to 6%. We are operating the state with fewer people than anybody can ever recall. All the record keeping right now, we are operating the state, we're going down below 13,000. When I came in, it was 15,500. All right, 6.5 years ago. We reformed the pension system. We reformed retiree health care, eliminated that. We've got all of the co-shares and co-pays for the state employees up to the norm for the private sector. All right, these are things that when I came in, and Kenny was with me, this has been a battle. Why? Because we got the most Democrat General Assembly in the country. And so my appeal here to all of you, as John Harpoonian, a good friend over here, said, you're getting excited now. Yeah, I have no time for people that criticize and not willing to get in the game. People that just want to criticize and badmouth the state, talk about the bad taxes, and go to Florida. No, I'm here. Sue and I are here. All right. Would it be cheaper for us to be in Florida? Yeah. But we're here because we were prepared to fight, to do the things that need to be done to move this state forward. And we need more people like you. We need more candidates, because at the end of the day, I'm constantly battling a legislature that wants to do the opposite of me. The opposite of me. And so with a lot of work on Ken's part, because he was with me from the beginning, we've been able to sort of outmaneuver, outfox, and get the things done that have to be done. And I hope, you know, I feel confident that when we get through, and we're going to be battling right down to the last day, because we're going to get this wind farm built, we're going to get this intermodal completed at the airport, we're going to get the highway completed, we're going to continue to invest at URI and the institutions of higher education, because that's our future. And all those things are really, I think, underway right now. And but this is about Ken. And let me just say, when I first met Ken, he didn't know anything about politics either. We used to say it was the blind leading the blind between the two of us. All right, in the early days in the campaign, we said it was a campaign that couldn't shoot straight. All right, and that's not true, but we used to joke a lot internally. But one thing you know about Ken McKay, there's no harder worker. There is no person with more integrity, more character, who loves the state anymore than I do, really. And coming from a great, great family. So when he got involved in my campaign, and I give credit to Ken as the campaign manager and all the team, that's why I got elected. I mean, Sue and I worked hard. Okay, we're around, but you need a team. And when I came into office, he was my chief of staff for the first term and did a great, great job, because he got to learn. And I like to say, he's got an easy job now compared to what he had in Rhode Island. All right? I talk to my fellow governors as I go around the country, and I say, listen, you want a training for politics? You want a training for guerrilla fighting? You want a training for knowing how the other people think and the lengths to which they will go to try and stop you from doing things? Rhode Island is the crucible. Okay, Rhode Island is the crucible. So Ken McKay, from my standpoint, hugely important part of our whole campaign, hugely important part of my whole administration in the beginning of the first term. I couldn't admire anybody more than I do him and his whole family. I wish Mary was still here with his sons, but a great, great family. But a guy who saw it. This is what I give him credit for, because he saw it. Okay, he saw what I call the ugly underside of the underbelly. All right, it'll turn a lot of people off, and they leave. Said, no, I'm going to take it on. I'm going to take it on even a bigger way. All right, a bigger way. And I'm absolutely convinced, with his leadership, and Michael Steele and the whole team, we're at an axis point as a nation. You know, and he'll talk about the issue. We're at an axis point. I think you're going to see a whole resurgence, because suddenly light bulbs are going off. That the kinds of philosophies and the kinds of directions that this country is moving right now with this administration are not the kind of direction and the kind of philosophy is going to build a future that we all want for ourselves, our children, and our grandchildren. That's becoming clearer and clearer. And if this administration isn't stopped, they're going to bankrupt. You're going to bankrupt. And I never thought anybody could believe we could bankrupt the United States of America, but believe me, trillions roll off the tongue like millions used to. And trillions, none of us can get our mind around what that really means in terms of amounts of money. All right, so I'm really thrilled. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the job that he's got right now. And I know he's going to do a fantastic job leading along with Michael Steele. So somebody I obviously care a lot about, like enormously. Both Sue and I credit him and thank him, Ken McKay.